Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin. I am documenting mine and my husband's journey to complete debt freedom and financial independence. And there's a lot of different tools that we are using to do that. I follow a zero-based budget. I use cash envelopes. And then I also track all different types of metrics of how we are doing, including our net worth. And so now that we are in the first week of November, I am wrapping up October and taking a look at how our numbers have changed over that time. So if that's the type of video that you are interested in the personal finance type area, then do please stick around and let's jump right in. So I do have here in front of me, this is my entire net worth calculator for the year, but what I'm going to do is just condense it down over into, we'll just look at the past 2 months over here for that. So I have everything is empty because I've had quite a few questions about how I go about my calculations or my formulas that I have here in Excel. So if you keep an eye on this area up here, you will see the formulas show up that I use. It's basically addition and division, nothing more fancy or anything than that. Our mortgage, this stays the same every single month. We haven't had an appraisal yet. Yes, it is highly likely that our house has gone up in value, but right now we're just sticking with what the appraisal was for our home. So what our formal appraisal was, that was $470,000. For cash on hand and in savings, we have been focusing on really getting our emergency fund, getting that to fully funded. Plus we have a bit of cash on hand from some other things as well. And actually what we have in cash on hand right now is $9,121. Quite a bit of that is actually money that is set aside for things like our registration, and then also that is money from my Etsy shop and including what I need to pay in taxes, which is just looking gross right now. Our retirement. So this is both my husband's and my combined superannuation. I do not report our superannuations separately. We just don't want to, and therefore we don't. So combined, we're sitting at $364,571. So about a $13,000 increase on the month. Not going to complain about that. And then our brokerage accounts that we have. So we only just did our recent deposits, and that was in November. So we didn't really have anything in October. So in October, we ended with $7,868, and that increase was entirely from dividend payout. And we only started these brokerage accounts in July, so after we had paid off our debt. So to give an idea, so when they talk about compound interest, when talking about passive income, seeing that increase of about $75-ish, give or take, all of that was money that was just earned on what is sitting in there. So we had dividend payouts and then also increases. So this is why they say it is a long game, but you have to have something in there for it to start generating something. And if you are not following Mommy Trader, so MT1 Finance as well is her website. She has a fantastic investing challenge, just $1 a day. And I strongly recommend that you go and check out her videos and you try to take part in that if you can, because you might only see a couple of cents in dividends, and it's all about, for a lot of it is about dividend investing, but adding that up and tracking it over time and starting to see how that happens. Yes, the markets are going to go up, they're going to go down, you're going to cry some days, just you have to separate your emotions. Ultimately though, it is going to make you money in the long run. No amount is too small, and no time is too early to start, and it's also never too late to start as well. We had about $60 that was sitting in, this is a micro investing account. So for our total assets, $851,620 total. This gave us an increase on the month of about $6,500. This gave us an increase on the month of $17,567. So you can see some of that was from increasing our cash on hand, but really the majority of it came from those investment accounts. And that again talks to that importance, because our house is that right now is a basically it's a control variable. It's stable. We'll get to having an appraisal when we get there. So we have had an increase of $17,567 for the month. For the year, this takes us to negative $11,156. If you are new to watching, the reason why this is a negative number, it is not because we lost money in our investments or anything else. I changed the way that I calculate our net worth, and that I took out the value of our vehicles, and then I took out as well an additional asset that we have. So we've almost made up that gap. It's starting to look a little bit nicer. I'm still not sure that we're going to hit the goals that we had, but definitely we're looking at a really nice increase on the year in terms of our assets. Our monthly asset change was 2.11%. And again, negative 1.29 for the year. So hoping that by the end of November, this is closer to the 0%, if not maybe even in the positive. We will see how things go. Fingers crossed. The second element to calculating your net worth, and again, your net worth is you add up all of your assets, you add up all of your liabilities, and then you subtract your liabilities from your assets. And this is where you have to be really super duper honest with yourself. Now, we only have one liability, that is our mortgage, and our mortgage is at $147,000. It's slowly moving downwards at Zippy the Wonder Slug pace, but that is about how mortgages go. They just take time. We already paid off our loan. So at the beginning of the year, again, if you're new, when I started off the year, we owed $29,720 to a loan and $12,216 to credit cards. We paid both of those off. So the only debt that we have is our mortgage. So that gives us a monthly liability change of $954. Our year-to-date liabilities change is now $51,301, made up predominantly of paying off the loan and the credit card. As I said, mortgage, moving at Zippy the Wonder Slug pace, we're paying off about 0.25% each month, but we have reduced our liabilities by 11.5%. And we're really happy with that. That was our goal. Our goal was to become debt free, except for the house. We hit that goal. And then now it's focusing on the investing, focusing on the house, and then some other things and decisions that we can now make about whether or not I stay at full-time employment, if I drop down to part-time, etc. Because with my, with my illness, what is going to be the best option for us and for our family. So subtracting our liabilities from our assets. So we had, as a reminder, $851,620 in assets, $394,147 in liabilities. That gives us a new net worth of $457,473. So pretty much right on a $40,000 increase for the year. Our monthly net worth change is $18,521, and our year-to-date change, again, $40,145, bringing our net worth change to 42%. And our year-to-date net worth change is back at 9.62%. So we were aiming for about 5 to 10% in a net worth change. We are on track now to hit that. And again, that is despite having that hit that we took with taking those additional assets out. And this is where I talk about you cannot get too attached to the numbers and things such as that. Now, how you choose what assets you want to have in, entirely up to you. There's a heap of assets that people can choose, particularly in the US. I know a lot of people will include their health savings accounts that will go in there, because you can also do some investing in addition to that. Many people include the value of their vehicles, or if they have other valuables that don't really depreciate too much over time in their house. And it's perfectly okay to include those. You make the decision of what you want to include, and then you can always change it. That's what I did. Where we started off at the beginning of the year is not what we are using now, and that is perfectly okay, because at the end of the day, it is, it is a number. It is still increasing, and as long as it's increasing and not decreasing, we're pretty happy with that. I do always end with looking at an overall graph. I am a visual person. I love numbers, but seeing them visually represented. So there's a phrase called show me the numbers. Not quite the same as show me the money. Show me the money is more fun, but show me the numbers, let me see what it actually looks like, and that is what this graph does. And so this shows all the way from December of 2020, where we started, and you can see that we are what we had in assets is higher still than where it is now, because we made that change here in July. But still, it's less about what is going on here, more about what is going on here. And that is the peach colored line. That is our liabilities. That is steadily going down. Now, it's smaller increments that it is decreasing, but it is decreasing nonetheless. And that's the important part for us. And despite having a dip, which you could have this even if there's a massive dip in the market or anything like that, that it is going back up. It's not continuing to go, and it has stayed above where we have been. So we're happy with the progress there that we have made. Now, the reason why we like to track our net worth and keep it a relatively conservative number in terms of what we are including for our assets and whatnot is because if we had to liquidate everything, say tomorrow, what would we be able to do? How much cash would we have on hand? Because that is the other thing with investing. Investing, it is just there. It has an estimated worth, but it's actually not worth anything until you sell. And the same with, I can have a value on my vehicles, or I can have a value on my home. It doesn't matter what those are if somebody is not willing to pay the price that they are valued at. So it gives you a snapshot of if you needed to access something quickly, what would you be able to access, and what would that be able to be, would that take care of whatever it is that you needed to take care of for that. So that was our net worth increase in October. Now in November, have already made some of our investment purchases. I will cover that in my next week video on Wednesday. So I'm kind of loosely calling it a wealth building Wednesday of the different things that we're doing to increase our wealth. But I can't come up with a clever name because I'm not clever or creative like that. It just makes me feel a bit better if I give it a title, so to speak. But if you did enjoy this video, like videos like this where people are talking about how they have gone about calculating their worth, building their wealth, etc., by all means, do please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to follow along. This is just a particular style of video that I do in addition to my cash stuffing and my savings challenges. Otherwise, as always, do remember to choose kindness, show gratitude, always keep a positive mindset. I will see you in the next video.